Hi, I'm Kevin with the Richmond, and welcome to my Not Song Association Challenge. If you've been hanging out with me for the past few months, really this whole past year, you're used to me doing the Song Association Challenges, which I completely love, but today I decided to give the white wall a break and do a proper introduction video. I never did one of these when I jumped into doing this. I think it was maybe like last year sometime I saw my very first Song Association Challenge on L. It was Kelly Rowland, and oh man, she was amazing. She sounded so good, she was charming, she was funny, and the game was so fun, so I was hooked. I showed it to my roommate and we ended up binge watching like so many of them. They were so good, and she looked at me and she goes, "I think we could do this." And I looked around and I was like, yeah, we could totally do this. And then she got specific. She said we should do this, and I said yes, we totally should do this. So we did. I think it was probably like the second week of January that we dropped the first episode, and we've just been going, ever since. It's been really fun and it's been really cool, but I wanted to take some time to do a proper introduction and, introduce myself to everybody. Since I'm fairly new to all of this, the comment section in my videos aren't popping just yet, so I couldn't pose the question there. So instead, I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos about channel intros, and I pulled some questions from them that I thought were interesting, that I found interesting, so hopefully you might find interesting to get to know about me. All right, so here we go. Number one is, what is your full name? My name is Kevyn Richmond. That's Kevin with a Y, right? So it's Kevyn, Richmond, like Virginia. Meet Virginia. That was on last week's Song Association Challenge. Watch it if you haven't seen it. It's places. It was really good. What is your channel about? This channel is about me. No, it's about music, and games and humor and some acting content, or some stories and interesting things that go on. I should have thought about these before I started recording this video. This channel is about a soul having a human experience and little pieces that I get to share with you. What's the one thing you can't live without? Well, that's a very tricky question for me, because it's like, how deep do you want to get? I try not to. I really should have thought about these before. Man, listen, air. Tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air. No. I feel like, how deep do you want to get on this, guys? Really, this could be like a very philosophical type of conversation that we could delve into here. For me, I try not to operate off of need-based misconceptions, so I just feel like you don't really need anything. I know it might sound crazy, but I don't, yeah. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. What inspired you to start your channel? Like, I touched on this a little bit earlier. My roommate and I, we were like obsessed with Song Association challenges, and we wanted something creative to do. We both had just like recently come back to LA. I had been in Texas for almost 6 months, and she was up in San Francisco for a while, and we were both back in LA and in lockdown, but we wanted something creative to do, so we decided to do this. And I mean, once we started, we just did not stop. It's over 20 videos now. It's like a video a week. I have so much fun doing the Song Association challenges. Hopefully I'll be able to get to do other videos like this where I tell stories and just talk and connect with people, let you know a little bit about me. I have some crazy stories that I can recount just in my time as an actor in Hollywood, also just life in general. So I hope to do more of that as well. What do you love about LA? The sunshine. I love the sunshine so much. In LA, it's usually sunny. I don't know, the sunshine, it just like energizes me. I feel like Superman, I'm just like got that photonucleic effect where I just like store solar energy, and it just like gives me good vibes. Low key, I know people give it a bad rap about like people being flighty or fake or whatever, but I love the people here. I love when people just smile at you on the street, or you can nod at somebody and they'll nod back. Like, that's my jam, man. I moved around a lot my whole life, but when I got to LA, finally I was like, oh yeah, these are my people. This is my place. Who are some of your biggest musical inspirations? Hands down, Michael Jackson. I mean, for me, when I was a little kid watching him, it seemed like watching magic in real life. And I remember listening to his music and studying his voice, trying to make my voice sound like his voice, and like countless of hours studying the greatness of this musical genius. Like he's definitely number one for me. As I got older, I was able to like appreciate more people, and I just totally became a lamb of Mariah Carey. She is not only gifted as a vocalist, but she is an incredibly astute songwriter. I mean, low key, she's been upgrading people's vocabularies from the jump, right? What did she say? She's like, vividly emblazoned in my mind. Like, wait, what? Also, I'd have to say Missy Elliott, because she's just so creative. I feel like she's just pure creativity. I would love to work with her. She's definitely super inspirational. Who is your favorite actor? You can't see it right now, but I have a poster of James Dean right there on the wall. It says, dream as if you'll live forever, live as if you'll die today. And I love that quote, and I love this poster. I think James was a brilliant actor, but he's not my favorite actor. Actually, one of his biggest inspirations is my favorite actor, and that's Montgomery Clift. If you haven't heard of Montgomery Clift, and you've never seen the Montgomery Clift film, I highly recommend Red River. Red River is the first movie that I ever saw him in, and he just has like such a powerful presence, and he's not like a big dude. He's acting opposite of John Wayne in that movie, and it's very two different acting styles, but it doesn't take you out of it. Monty's so natural, but he draws you in, and yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you should. I highly recommend you watch Red River. But yeah, Monty is my favorite actor. I guess living legend, obviously Halle Berry. Man, she's brilliant. It's amazing to me how she completely can throw herself and engross herself into a role where she disappears. If you've never seen Frankie and Alice, I would recommend that one. It's so good. And up and coming, even though he's in everything that I wish I was in, Kelvin Harrison Jr. is, man, he's brilliant. If you haven't seen Luce, Luce, you should watch it. I highly recommend it. It was my favorite film of 2019. Him and Octavia Spencer hold it down, and he's fantastic. What is your favorite food? Well, my favorite food is pizza, right? That's everybody's favorite food? No, I'm kidding. What's my favorite food? Honestly, my favorite food is banana. I could eat bananas all day, every day. Yeah, I think they're delicious. They're fantastic. I also have a really big sweet tooth, so I could eat cookies. And oh man, that's one thing I miss, like cakes. You know, it takes more effort to find vegan cakes. But yeah, sometimes I just want to eat cake and ice cream, you know, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What's your favorite movie? The Talented Mr. Ripley. Hands down. Matt Damon is my favorite actor of his generation, so it lives rent-free in my head, and I probably quote it to myself or to some unsuspecting listener, i.e. my roommate, once a week. At least once a week. What is your favorite travel destination spot? My favorite was Ibiza. And I know I'm romanticizing it. You know how like, you know you're romanticizing something and you probably shouldn't, but I had so much fun in Ibiza, and I feel like I'm romanticizing it because it was such a short, fast trip for me. It was the first portion of a Euro trip that I took with some friends of mine, and I met one group in Ibiza And then I left Ibiza and met another group in Greece and spent the rest of the time there. But in Ibiza, I only had like 2 days. But oh my gosh, the dancing. It was amazing. Any place or any time you can dance all night long and then watch the most amazing sunrise I've ever seen in my life before you go to bed and then wake up and do that all over again. I'm sold. What's the craziest thing you've ever done? My mom might watch this. No, I'm kidding. I don't even really do like. Let's see. No, for real. I don't really do like crazy stuff. What's crazy anyway? I feel like I might do stuff that people might think is crazy because it's just like not common or something. You know what I mean? Or because it's like not commonly done in your friend group or your family or something like that. So I went to Thailand once alone because I was supposed to go with a couple other people, but at the last minute they pulled out, and I mean, I was bummed because I wanted to take the trip with them. It was going to be really fun, but I really wanted to go. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm going by myself. And it was probably like my first international trip, like since I was a little kid. People were like, oh, you're going to go by yourself? What are you doing? You don't know anybody. This is crazy. But luckily I had a friend who was insanely supportive of it. He was actually my boss at my day job at the time, and he was super supportive and encouraging, and he like gave me so many tips, and he legit taught me Thai. Like in the month or 2 months leading up to my trip, like he made sure that I had like a fairly decent working knowledge of the language so that I would be okay with myself, which I'm so grateful for because there was well, never mind. That's another story for another video. But no, it was very helpful, and I mean, I had a blast there. I also went to Chiang Mai and I studied meditation with some monks. I went to Koh Phi Phi and I did like all these amazing hikes. But I also did party on the beach. It was fantastic. It was the trip of a lifetime, and I'm so glad I went. What is your favorite book? Probably for like a long time now, I've only been reading spiritual books, which this year I'm hoping to like balance out a little bit more because I want to like throw some fiction in there. But for a while now, aside from the books by my amazingly talented friend Dana L. Davis, she's a brilliant writer who writes these phenomenal YA novels. If you haven't read Tiffany Sly Lives Here Now, or The Voice in My Head, or Roman and Jewel, you should get them now and read them. They're fantastic summer reads. I highly recommend them. But other than that, I've really only been reading like spiritual books about the soul and the universe and all this kind of good stuff. And my favorite book, hands down, is Conversations with God. It's by Neil Donald Walsh, and it changed my life. I must have bought that book for so many people for Christmas. There was like a time where I just like wanted everybody to read it. You know how like when you find like a good Netflix show and you just like start telling everybody about it because you want them to feel how you felt when you watch. It's like, oh, everybody, you should watch this. That's how I was with that book. I highly recommend looking it up, and if anybody ever has read it and wants to talk about it, please, let's do. I found this room in Clubhouse a couple of weeks ago where this guy was just playing like the audio version of it, and I just like left it on for hours. Even though I've read it like twice, I just was like listening to it again because I love it that much. All right, that's it. That's gonna do it for this video. Our little Q&A. Hey, look at me, now look at you. How you like that? Hopefully you feel like you got to know a little bit more about me. I definitely plan on doing more of these videos. There's so many stories that just came up while I was answering some of these questions that I would love to share. I just got to figure out how to balance it with song association because I'm still going to do those. I love that game. But this was cool. It was cool to talk and connect. That's something that I really wanted to do this month, is just like connect with more people. So hopefully this gave me an opportunity to connect with you. I look forward to you connecting with me. Feel free to comment some things, you know, that I touched on in the video. Like I said, I'm looking for new fiction books. So if you have any book recommendations, please comment below. If you've read Conversations with God, Yeah, let's chat about that for sure. Was my movie choice controversial for you? Let me know. Who's your favorite actor? Do you know about Montgomery Clift? Are there any other actors that I've missed out on? Come on, sound off in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.